Okay, for Southern Cross. First of all, let's talk about the big picture. There's been a lot of speculation out there that we've walked away from those leases. That's not the case. It's a much more involved story than that. I'm going to try to give you the highlights, but still keep it brief. Short version, there are 4 leases at Southern Cross. The 2 main leases, the 2 that we're most interested in from a prospect standpoint, there's a lease to the north, there's a lease to the south, and we were on the southernmost lease. Both of those 2 main leases came to us from deals that we struck with Cook Inlet Energy as a 50% player and Hilcorp as a 50% player. Those 2 agreements had different conditions in them. The one with Cook Inlet Energy simply stated we had to arrive on scene and commence operations in order to earn their 50%. The one that we had with Hilcorp said that we had to drill down to 8,500 feet to earn our 50%. So with that as a backdrop, we arrived on scene, we jacked down, we started operations, and what happened then was that Mother Nature intervened and started washing out from under the foot pads of the rig. We jumped divers, took a look at that, did some other assessment to decide if that was a safe operating condition, concluded that it was not, or it could develop into an unsafe situation. And so then we jumped divers again, sought out a nearby location about 400 feet away that we felt wouldn't have the foundational issues, and started the process of moving the rig over to that position. At that point, because we had arrived on location late due to all of the testing that we did at Cosmo, and because of the successes that we had had at Cosmo that extended that testing time well beyond where we had originally anticipated it would go, we ran into a time issue. And so we went back to the leaseholders and we said, look, we've started operations, but we've had erosion. We're going to need to move the rig. We also approached the state at that point, made those same statements to them, and thereby began a dialogue that initially looked like we were going to fairly quickly resolve something and simply move over to the new location and start working. As it turned out, that's not what happened, because there was another clock ticking with the original lease and unit that the state had granted. And so where we looked like we were going to have rapid resolution, very quickly became apparent to me that the things that were being suggested both by the state and by the 2 groups that we had the agreements with weren't going to be things that we could resolve in a timely fashion. And the most secure thing that I could do to protect Buccaneer and our cash was to move the rig off location altogether and have those discussions with the state, with Cook Inlet Energy, and with Hilcorp, with the rig off location and not drilling. That is where we are at the moment. State is off location. The rig is off location, and we are doing the winterization work that we had already scheduled to do. But according to the brief that I have from our legal officers in both Alaska and here in Houston, we have in fact a 50% position with Cook Inlet Energy lease position, and we have a dialogue that we have to enter into now with Hilcorp and the state about next steps. Cook Inlet Energy is also questioning the situation here, so all of this is going to get resolved over the next immediate time frame. I can't give you a hard number, but it is not correct to say that we've relinquished our lease position or that we've walked away from those prospects. We simply are in a mode where the best thing we could do to protect the company was to take the actions that we've taken.